Friends, tonight I decided to open up my new Opavioc Mini Polisher and dress up some of my knives that need a little attention. And first on the list was this Old Timer 8 OTB with its bone handles. Just recently I posted my unboxing video of this foreign-made Schrade Old Timer, and I had a few complaints about the fit and finish. The first was that the bone scales didn't seem to be finished on the sides. They had very sharp edges. That concerned me because not only was that a hot spot when using it, that it would chip if I dropped it on the ground. So also the bolsters, even though they are rounded right at the end, they're still pretty much sharp everywhere else. So tonight I'm going to take care of that, but before we do, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it to any of your friends that might like similar content. Thank you. So growing up carrying old-timer knives, I have a lot of fond memories, and I really wanted this knife to review better than it did. So sitting on my couch watching reruns of Better Call Saul, I took a little sandpaper and started smoothing it out and taking care of all these imperfections. I started out with just some 220 here and started smoothing out those sharp corners and rounding the bolsters. And once I got it to where I thought I liked it, I took a piece of 400 and went over it. And then after that, I'm going to finish it off with some 1500 here to get rid of the deep scratches before we start buffing. Now, I'm not that worried about it. I'm just going to buff it because this is going to be a carried knife, and I'm not really worried about getting it perfectly mirror polished. So this little Opavioc goes up to 10,000 RPM. It's got a variable speed here. Pretty quiet. This is the first time I turned it on, actually. Looks pretty cool, huh? And this is not a tutorial on how to use a jewelry polisher. This is just my experience, and I'm sharing it with you. So I'm going to start with this green compound over here. And I got a yellow wheel on one side and a white, so I'm going to put the green on the yellow. That might be wrong. And if anybody knows, put it in the comments, but that's how I decided to do it. We'll see if it works, right? So it did take a while, a lot longer than I expected, to load this wheel up with the compound. And at first it didn't really seem to load that good. Alright, you can see I also put a piece of cardboard back there because I expected the stuff to sling everywhere. That's what that cardboard's doing back there, just to, if anything slings, it keeps it from going all over the place, and I can just throw that cardboard away later. Alright, so you can see it's got some on the mat there. So here's the knife after sanded. Look how you can see the pin there. You couldn't see that when I started, but after I sanded. Can't see it on both sides, but just the one. So let's go ahead and start polishing on this and see how it does. Alright, let's get some safety glasses on. These came with it. I forgot to put them on, so if you're doing one, you should wear safety glasses as well. Alright, so just light pressure, I guess. Look how black the wheel's getting already, huh? It's almost like polishing silver. Well, I guess it is. It's nickel silver bolster. So, goes to figure. So just working on the knife, working all the areas. I'm going to go ahead and do the bone as well, as long as it doesn't burn it. You know, I'm not going to let it get too hot. But I want to try to smooth out that bone as well. You know, I sanded the back springs here and everything. Just trying to get everything just, you know, I'm trying to do like a case pocket worn, if that explains it. That's the kind of feel I want to get out of this knife. So that's why I smoothed it out, rounded the bolsters, rounded the handles. Alright, so one thing I do notice And if I get a little bit ahead of myself on it and get too aggressive, I get some compound kind of burn up on the thing and I have to wipe it off of a rag. But if I just keep using light pressure like that, it doesn't do it. And just keep moving it around, that way you don't get one spot real hot. I think if you were to get those scales hot, it would probably not be too good for them. It would probably discolor them too. But it seems to be working fairly well here. See? It's not a mirror polish, but it got most of the scratches out. It's just kind of dull. Let's go ahead and work it in there. And like I said, we want to work those sharp edges. Just keep doing that back spring there. Get all that good. See, there's some of that black stuff, so we'll try to buff that back off. There, see how I cleaned it off? Go around these real good. Okay, so that's what it looks like after the green compound on the one wheel. Shiny enough, you know. You could stop there, but we're going to get it looking a little bit better. So, put some white compound over here on this white one. And let me tell you, these little strings start flying everywhere. You see one right there on the right side, the black cover on the motor. There's that one piece of it, but I got about 10 of them in my hair and about another 10 on my arm. Half a dozen on the table. But after about a minute or so, they stop flying off and the wheel smoothed out. Alright, let's get that out of the way. Let's see what happens here. Let's turn that wheel black again, huh? Check it out. Alright, but look how much shinier that is already. Oh yeah, look at that. It's already almost like a mirror. Alright, so we're just going to work this good here. Really clean it up. And make this nice and pretty. You know, this blade is 3 7/8 inch closed. And it's such a perfect size in the hand. You know, some people like sitting there with their spider coes and flippers and stuff like that, and kind of a gadget thing, but I don't need the movement or the mechanism. Just holding a knife like this, the way it's perfectly shaped with that slight S shape in it, it just feels so good in the hand. I don't have to sit there and open and close it. I can just hold on to that knife and get that same enjoyment. I don't know who designed these older style knives that seems like everybody used to make, but man, they got it right back then, didn't they? 3-bladed knife. It's got a clip point, a little pen knife, and a sheep's foot in there. Perfect for almost every task you need. I'm especially fond of the sheep's foot for carving and detail work. Clip point would be more for cleaning game or, you know, stuff like that. And the pen knife for not puncturing something. Now here we can see already. See how nice that is and rounded the corners are. Alright, now to the naked eye, you don't see any scratches on them bolsters or on the back spring here, but in the video you definitely can. See how I rounded those off? How much smoother that is. Got rid of the hot spots. And the transition from the bone to the bolster is a lot smoother. You know, I got rid of a little bit of the traction by rounding those scales, but I think it looks a lot better. And it feels, I mean, that's the only thing you can't see on the video is how much better this feels in the hand. It just feels like a perfect little gem. everything's smooth until you get to the saw cut sides. Here's how it was original. See the sharp corners of the scales? See how acute the angles were on the bolsters? Not anymore. It's got that pocket worn effect. And this really wasn't that big a project, you know. Took me about 10 minutes on the polisher, and I don't know, you know, I did the other part while I was watching TV, so I might have maybe 20 minutes in sanding it, not even paying attention. But the reward is so nice. That is just a sweet pocket knife now. Next up, I got to put it on my hapstone and get these blades straightened out, but that'll be another video. Well, hey friends, thanks for checking out my video on polishing this little turd of a knife that turned into a nice little gem. And hopefully you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it to any of your friends that might like similar knife content like this. It really helps out the channel when you share it like that. Other than that, thanks for viewing.